we added just a slight pause. It's not bang on the groove, we're just allowing a little bit of a pause. Just there. So just a split second, so you're stopping your groove. Notice when we're dancing before, we just miss the one we need, and then we come back in. So it's not 100% this like back and forth, back and forth. So we're just manipulating the groove for that split second. And when you do it like that, you can get away with it because we go like this, and then it's like, oh, what's happening? And then we're back into it. So here, what I like to do is whenever I'm not 100% sure if that particular cue point is going to work, I like to play it with the song. So I'm playing with the current song, I'm playing the cue point that I want to transition back into of the song we're playing. We were playing. And a great way to do that is just hitting your cue point, listening to it in your headphones, and be like, is it gonna work? Is it gonna work? And in this case, it's not working for me. So we're checking, could be better. So now I'm changing. I'm saying, okay, let's try this one. Let me try this one. Let me try that one. So I'm just searching through the ones that I have already selected, and I'm saying, okay, which one is gonna work better for me? I'm cutting it close, as you can see. But again, confidence, that's the key. It always will be. Don't start sweating and start, focus. Doesn't matter if it's 4 bars, 8 bars left. Just focus on, imagine, you're picking a lock and there's a dog like running after you. It reminds me of like, the Magnum PI when he's like, when he gets the dogs after Magnum. He's like trying to open the door and pick open the door for himself before the dogs get him. The same, you gotta be focused on the door, on the pick. Don't worry about the dogs. Don't worry about the song finishing. Focus on you having the confidence, okay, to get the next track up, and you'll do it. Okay, I know that this song is finishing, okay, so we can tell because the lights are starting to flash. So that means this song is about to finish. And instead of just letting it finish, we can do something creative. I can add a bit of sort of a big crush effect onto it. We can add some doubles. We can just play around with it a little bit. Detune it a little bit and create, add this sort of, play with those. And you notice that the track is basically done. And for me, basically there, and when just extending it out a little bit. So we're the ones in control of the piece, and we're extending it out. And adding in delay or adding in effects to extend the tail out just a little bit longer. And the cue point that I've picked has just a little quick vocal snippet, and then we're back into the groove. Okay, let's look at it one more time. So let's look at this from a perspective of the audience. Okay, so you're watching me, you're playing to me. I'm gonna dance with this, and I hope this works. Okay, here we go. But you'll notice even now, we added just a slight pause. It's not bang on the groove, we're just allowing a little bit of a pause. Just there. So just that split second, so you're stopping your groove. Notice when we're dancing before, we just miss the one we need, and then we come back in. So it's not 100% this like back and forth, back and forth. So we're just manipulating the groove for that split second. And when you do it like that, you can get away with it because we go like this, and then it's like, oh, what's happening? And then we're back into it. Working with that pause, pauses are beautiful, but you gotta be careful with them. And so you've basically stopped the groove. Yeah. For a second or so. It's good for me. And then it's good for me to stop the groove. Okay. Hope that made sense. So we're going with the groove. You notice having just a slight pause, and then it's like, huh? It's good, and then bam, bam, bam. You know? Yes. So as you're working on that sort of back and forth, you can have a little slight pause, but you always want to try having it on the momentum. And then you have a sort of quick little pause. Everyone's like, what? And then it comes back in, and then was like, oh, that was so cool. But if you just stop, and then was like, what was that? And then you just start from the beginning of the next song. And then you have another 16 bars of just of a kick and nothing else, or like a kick and a snare. Um, that's not gonna work. You noticed here we were trying really hard to find the right cue point because it's a very important moment. You have moments like this where you are being creative like this in your mix, and sometimes the one you've originally had the cue point just isn't going to work with it. You might have done something else, you might have done something different previously, and it's just not going to work for this one. I know that if I went straight into a different section of that song, it just wouldn't have worked. Or I mean, the breakdown after it's sort of done this, if you go into the breakdown like a transition, it's just not gonna work. You sort of created this little ripple sort of ending bit rate effect sort of delay thing, and then it just stops, and then you're building into the next song. That's just a waste of time. You want to do something like this, have a quick pause, and go straight into a groove that's really catchy, or like a drop or something like that. Really keeps the momentum going. That's key, especially in this section when you are sort of the nuts and bolts. You don't want to have to start the whole thing again. You're not in the opening sequence. You're in the nuts and bolts. You're the secrets are being spilt. Things are unraveling. There's drama. There's action. There's thriller, and you want to create that in your mix. There you go. That is a mashup of two. You're creating your own live mashup for your audience to enjoy. One of the beautiful things about this is it only happens once. Next time you do it, it's gonna be different. It's gonna be a different cue point. It's gonna be a different style. It might be a slightly shorter pause, a slightly longer pause. It could be like I mentioned, different cue point. It could be the reverse. You could be doing the first song and then California, and then you're switching between the two. You use a transition. There's so many different ways and alternatives you can do it. There's just one of the ways, and it creates a new unique moment for that audience that enjoy it. And when the audience sees you, they know, oh, cool. That's just for me. When I go to something else, it'll be something different. It'll be for that audience. And that way you can create, on the spot, unique moments that become fun, and it's not repetitive. It's not boring for you because you're able to just switch and change things up.